Well, hello everyone. It's Tuesday, January the 5th, 2021. More lies from Harry and Meghan. Harry's afraid to go meet with Her Majesty the Queen, and he's using lockdown as an excuse. Meghan tells the Root newspaper that she is asking for a trial summary judgment because it would protect the privacy of the royal family. Trying not to laugh out loud because when have these two ever done anything for someone else? They don't put anyone before themselves. Disclaimer, full disclaimer is located under the description. This video is for entertainment only and it's just my opinions. So before we get into that, just a couple of things. If you guys are on Instagram, one of the Instagrammers that I found that is doing like an audio version of Archwell Audio Brother. So check them out on Instagram, and that's their username right up above. And it's funny, and she's kind of breaking down the Archwell Audio podcast and talking about a little bit about her opinions and stuff. So she's really funny. So if you guys are on Instagram, check her out. Archwell Audio Brother. All right, and then credit to Royal Instablog. Says front list, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry can launch a new magazine. Says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are positioning themselves to be able to launch general feature magazine and printed periodicals under the Archwell brand, according to filed documents. Well, what aren't they doing? Anything that they can do to make money out there, and especially on the name of their son and their royal titles, they're going to do it. All right, so let's get to the other things that we've got here. All right, Fox News says Prince Harry is just thriving in California since the royal exit isn't looking back, a pal claims. Wonder who that pal is, guys. Is that Omid, the mouthpiece, Scobie? Sure sounds like it would be, or one of her friends that's in the U.S., So sources claiming Prince Harry is feeling free since stepping back as a senior member of the British royal family. I don't believe this for 1 minute, and I don't believe he's that happy. And anybody that has to work as hard as they do to put pieces in the press almost daily about how happy Harry is only having to do that to keep the truth away, which is that he must not be very happy at the moment. It's been nearly a year since Prince Harry announced that him and his wife were stepping back, and I'm just going to skip around. It says Harry doesn't have any regrets about leaving the royal family whatsoever and is really happy in Montecito, an inside told U.S. Weekly. Yep, that sounds like Omid, and of course U.S. Weekly is one of the few magazines that does print their propaganda out there. He and Meghan are enjoying the new life in California, being a normal family. What's normal about them? And having the freedom to make their own decisions without anyone watching over them, added the pal. Are you kidding me? Okay, let me know what you guys think. The Express says Meghan drops Markle from her name as the Duchess could adopt Prince Harry's Windsor name. Well, I would think that would be what was on the marriage license anyway, wouldn't you guys? So it says Meghan Markle may no longer be using her father's family surname after she wasn't listed as such on Archwell Audio, but they just put themselves as Harry and Meghan. The royal is simply named as Meghan. What is she, the new Madonna? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, on Spotify. She and Prince Harry recently struck a multi-million-dollar deal with the U.S. streaming giant to create and host podcasts. Yeah. We heard it. I wonder how many more friends they've got left. I think they used them all up in the first one. Prince Harry forced to scrap plans to return to UK and meet Queen over Brexit review. So it's saying that he's been forced to scrap these plans because of the COVID. Guys, we all know they take private jets everywhere they go. And I think that him being a royal, he has the ability to get around this, especially if he says the Queen of England is calling him home to meet with him. I don't think he's got the guts to meet her face to face. And I think this is Meghan afraid to let him go over to meet her and be without her and his family, and I don't think she's allowed to come back. I think when she left, they said, "That's it, Harry, you're welcome back. Archie's welcome back, but that's it. No for Meghan." At least that's my opinion. However, a ban on non-essential travel is part of England's third lockdown, which was stated yesterday, and the ongoing coronavirus pandemic in the U.S. means the couple will not be able to travel from their new home in California. Meghan, we know you were never going in the first place, and we know you're scared to death to let Harry out of your grips because you're afraid that he'll see common sense and logic if he's away from you for a little bit, because you're constantly having to, put your grip on him. Royal sources told Mirror Online that Harry has not yet attempted to contact the Queen to arrange a meeting of his 12-month royal review. I believe he knows when it is. It's supposed to be March the 31st, and I think the Queen, according to articles, that she's expecting him to be there face-to-face. She doesn't care if Meghan comes. Has nothing to do with Meghan. The only reason she worked out this deal is because of her grandson, who is actually a prince. Meghan is only a duchess by marriage. He is the royal bloodline. She said, "I think, unhappily, it is very difficult to square up being a member of the royal family with commercial activities because there are bear traps everywhere." Well, of course there is. She shouldn't be mixed up with Netflix. She shouldn't be mixed up with podcasts. She shouldn't have gotten involved in politics. She shouldn't have put out bad press about the royal family or the people of England and how they were racist and how everybody has mistreated her and how the royals didn't stick up for her. All lies. Meghan lives inside of her own head, and we all know that it's not a very well one. The couple have remained members of the royal family despite their new venture. Prince Harry will always be a member of his family. Just because Meghan dumps hers doesn't mean that Harry doesn't have a family. It's just his wife doesn't allow him to see them. Oh, here's something. Sex charges. Millionaire businessman who went to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding, has been charged with rape and a string of sex attacks. And this is by The Sun UK. Lawrence Jones, who has amassed a £700 million fortune through his IT company, UK Fast, was regarded as one of Britain's best bosses. But it says now he was forced to step down in October 2019 after several female staff complained about the Me Too culture within Manchester-based workplace. So I guess it's just now kind of all coming to head. The data for was allegedly inappropriately physical with employees, often young women, working as personal assistants or receptionists. Jones, 52, was interviewed after two women made sex assaults complaints, which they said occurred in 2010 and 13. His wife, Gail, took over as CEO after he stepped aside. A GMP spokeswoman today confirmed that Jones has been charged with 1 rape and 4 counts of sexual assault. He is due to appear at a Manchester magistrate's court on January the 26th. In a statement issued today, Jones says approximately 18 months ago, I contacted the police and I was interviewed voluntarily because I became aware of rumors circulating about me that, although false, were extremely damaging. I have fully cooperated with the police throughout, and I am determined to ensure that my name is cleared. In the circumstances at this time, it would not be appropriate to say any more other than to state clearly that I did not do what I'm being alleged to do. So, U.S. Weekly, one of Meghan's preferred people that puts out her propaganda. Harry and Meghan set for awkward reunion with William Kate, experts say. So, and one thing she says, they can't go back by the coronavirus, which was a day ago, but 3 days ago, they say Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are expected to travel back to the UK. Royal historian Robert Lacey told Elle magazine in an interview. Well, we know they're expected to go back, or Harry is at least, but will they? There's not going to be a reunion, and I don't think Harry will go back either. Let me know what you guys think. OK Magazine reports Prince Harry and Meghan Markle want to try for another baby at the earliest opportunity. In our opinions, for the majority of us, I think we feel like that she's not able to get pregnant or to carry a pregnancy to term. and that this is just something else that's put out there, that maybe they're looking for another surrogate. Harry, if you're going to get away now. Don't get trapped into having another child with this woman. Just don't do it. She doesn't seem to be maternal. She doesn't seem to have a motherly instinct, and I believe that her children, just in my opinion, it means nothing, are just for use to getting more money and to keep her hands into Harry. Through thick and thin, according to an OK insider, a rough year for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, including the inter-family strife, a move across the pond, and a devastating miscarriage has only strengthened their bond. Again, this is Meghan putting this out there, so something must be really wrong with them, and Harry must be really just at his wit's end if constantly she has to put it out about how happy he is and how much stronger they are together, and how this is lockdown has only caused them to become closer and a stronger family. So anyway, it just says that they were quite overwhelmed by the outpouring of compassion. The sheer scale of messages, electronic and handwritten, was nothing short of astounding. Meghan, we know you were looking for sympathy. As with Chrissy Teigen and other people have put it out, most people are compassionate and are empathetic to people's plights, especially when they have a loss of child. But I'm not going to go into it because I don't believe you were pregnant. So Piers Morgan is at it again on Good Morning Britain, and he is saying that he's slamming them, that they are fleecing the royal family, and then he calls on to the Queen to strip Prince Harry and Meghan of the royal titles and accuse the couple of using their son, Archie, on a podcast. Of course they're using him. They're using him at any turn that they can. Queen's brutal role in Meghan and Harry's exile revealed. And it just says, highlighting their hypocrisy, Piers ranted on Good Morning Britain. They quit the country for privacy, and they've hardly shut up since. Agreed. They particularly wanted to protect their little boy, who is the star of the new podcast. It is all complete hogwash. Exactly. Meghan wants us to do as she says, not as she does. Anything that the time they say they left to protect their privacy and that of their family, when she puts it out to certain media and she's the one who calls the paps, people aren't papping them. Anytime that she's ever been photographed, it's her calling them up themselves. At least that's what I believe, and I think many others believe that as well. He added, when Gringe and Cringe did their new podcast, that's their new nicknames, because he's got ginger hair and she makes him cringe, and little Archie was brought in to flog it. Did that not make you guys cringe? After all that saying, he had to leave the country to protect his privacy. But now, the moment that they've signed that big money deal, we're going to use him to flog our podcast. So, and I won't read all of that. So it just says that news.com Australia, this Friday marks 1 year since Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, shocked the world by taking to Instagram to announce that they wanted out as full-time working members of the royal family. It was a bombshell announcement, which allegedly blindsided the Queen and Prince Charles, who had only been given mere moments of warning of the earthquake that were about to rock the monarchy. The palace quickly moved, and we knew that they came in, and the Queen said that she told the various households involved to find a workable solutions in days, not weeks. 5 days later, Harry met with the grandmother, father, brother, and the Queen at the Norfolk home in Sandringham. And only a matter of hours, one of the most consequential royal decisions to be made in decades, if not a century, has been reached. Harry and Meghan would quit wholesale as official representatives of the Queen in favor of charting their own course. Now, I know a lot of people said that, it was awful the way she was treated and how they wouldn't give them a way to be half in and half out. Well, that's not what you do, and the Queen is going to put the monarchy first. If you just think of the example that she puts the firm first. When you think of Sophie and her son, Edward, let's just go to this. After Prince Edward and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, wed in 1999, the couple tried to keep their commercial ambitions afloat. He had a TV production company. She ran a moderately successful PR firm while still repping Her Majesty. So they were working. They tried doing this, letting them to continue on with their jobs and companies. But then she said, this is not going to work. It can't be look as if you're making money or making deals off the royal name. So she made them stop, both of them altogether, and work for her solely. So Meghan is not being mistreated. She did the same thing to Sophie and Edward. So for all of the sugars out there saying that, she's punishing Meghan and Harry, it's not the case. You're either in or you're out. You're not half in, half out. And that was what the Queen said. And she's being fair among all of them. It's her family, and she's doing the best she can to help them. For the Queen, I wonder if there was a sense of deja vu when this time last year, another newlywed Windsor duo presented her with their clever clogs idea to combine paying jobs and monarchical duties. However, lost in that image and supported by the Daily Mail story is the fact that the non-agrarian sovereign who hits the big 9-5 in April this year is still firmly in charge as CEO of the firm. When push came to shove, she was also forced to choose to be acting as a grandmother and as a queen, and there was no dallying or confusion. The crown came first. So these were just a few of the comments. If you want to take a screenshot of them, and they're kind of long, so I won't read all of them. This one, the Truth Fairy says, Meghan and Harry wouldn't have any $1 million deals. And this was the comments under the news article. If they didn't have royal titles, they are no longer royals and should no longer have these titles, according to the Truth Fairy, especially Meghan. Harry is not the man he once was and has become very unlikable. And Meghan fell in love with wealth and fame. And although I'm sure she's convinced herself she fell in love with a man. In short, neither of them deserves to have any royal titles, and they just need to try getting these fabulous $1 million deals without any titles at all, because we know that wouldn't happen. Meghan's, and that's why she has to hold on to Harry. That's the only reason she has to hold on to Harry, because he's her meal ticket, just like Archie is. Meghan seems to think she was more than a two-bit actor. Excuse me. And Harry thinks he's more important than he is. I'm going to get something to drink. Thank you. He is more important than Meghan, though. For the moment, as long as they both continue with their wokeness and attempting to demean the royals, to score deals, play the victims, and plaster their double standards all over the place. It won't be too long before they come undone. So this was just another comment if you wanted to take a screenshot of that. And pretty much everybody is just saying it. But I'll say that there's a lot of people that are losing respect for the Queen now in their comments, because they feel that she has given them too much rope and too much leadway, and really hasn't tightened up the ropes as much as she needs to by just waiting on this 1 year. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and then, of course, Marie Claire, another one of her propaganda pushing magazines. The Queen personally rejected Prince Harry's Remembrance Day request. That's put out there again just 1 day ago. Bullcrap. We all know that you don't put a wreath on the cenotaph to represent yourself. We've covered this over and over. You place a wreath on it to represent a branch of the military and those that had fallen. It's not a wreath for the Queen, a wreath for Prince Charles, a wreath for Harry, a wreath for William. That's not what it is. They're placing the wreath in honor of those different branches on the cenotaph. So, listen to this, guys. I've never heard of this, but it's called The Root. And Melisha K. Said, should Meghan's public humiliation be resolved privately? Royal sources certainly hope so. And, of course, she sounds like a Meghan Sugar, and she goes on to paint a picture of how she feels that they've been wrong. And she's saying, I didn't do the whole article because it was just regurgitating everything we know. I just tried to pick out a few points that I thought you'd like to hear. Markle's attorney now scheduled to argue for a summary judgment, which this is the trial against the Mail on Sunday, which was postponed. Remember, she was supposed to be there in January, which, if accepted, will effectively end the suit before it goes to trial. This is the hope of at least one senior royal source who spoke to The Times. Well, that's got to be Meghan, voicing concerns that a trial would deeply be uncomfortable for the institution of the royal family, as well as for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex themselves. We know this is Meghan. She's trying to act like that, that she's going to try to be their savior, that she doesn't want to put them through this. Truth is, we know she doesn't want to face her father, and she doesn't want all the truth coming out, that she really did work with the biographers on the hagiography, Finding Freedom, as well as other having to change her affidavits and from what she originally wrote. And she maybe her 5 friends aren't going to come out and speak in her behalf anymore. But I think that the courts are on to her, and I don't think that the summary judgment would be in her favor. And I think the Mail on Sunday would like to take it all away, because I think they've got more dirt on her that they'd like to expose. It says a trial would just be traumatic for Meghan and Harry. Yeah, that's who she's worried about, herself. And it would expose palace operations. Members of staff would be dragged into it on the witness stands, the source told the newspaper. Who? The one guy that was in the household that was one of the courtiers or secretaries, where he said would have to testify that he looked over the letter Meghan wrote to her father, or gave her some ideas on what to write. Who else is going to be drug in? Sorry. I think if it is, it'll be people given information that's against what Meghan has alleged. The Times notes that a trial could also necessitate a contentious courtroom reunion between Markle and her father, whom the Times quotes as previously and somewhat melancholily stating, "I'll see Meghan in court." If so, it might also mean a first face-to-face encounter between Harry and his father-in-law, who famously pulled out of attending, and this is another thing, of attending the couple's 2018 nuptials at the last moment after infamously joining forces with paparazzi. He had a heart attack, people. Meghan, again, is trying to put this out there to sway people's opinions that her father left her in the lurch, and that he's the bad guy in this, and that she's the victim. She is not a victim. She paints herself as queen victim, but we know she's not, because anyway, let me know what you guys think. And will they ever tell the truth? Fake news, all of her puff pieces out there. She's busy trying to bombard all of this and put it out there so that she can gain favor in some people's eyes. But she needs to stop attacking the Queen and the royal family. And there's enough out there. I'm sure they've kept track of it, and they're going to be able to pull it up. And I think Harry will be forced to go meet his grandmother in person. He needs to grow up, put his big boy pants on, and be a man, and go and face her and admit to what he's done, and take his lashings, or take the consequences that are given to him, and let the royal family be done with him once and for all. Let him just be a member of the family, but have him relinquish all of his titles, and if not, strip him from them, but don't let them make money off that anymore. He's made a mockery of the excuse me, the Queen and the royal family. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what your comments are. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are. Mine is to change my diet a little bit and go more keto friendly. I'm trying to make a point of being productive with something each day, and also just find more joy. Just be happier this year, and not let all the things in the news bring me down like I've allowed in the past. And we'll just keep moving forward. And I thank you guys for listening, for watching. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, and consider subscribing, set your notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Love to you all. Have a great week.